Today we're gonna make one of my favorite 3-ingredient snacks, and all you need is cream cheese, which I squeeze it out. I'm too lazy to cut it. I just squeeze it like this. And then you add the cream cheese to the bowl. Take some chopped up bell peppers. These are red and green. It helps if you use softened cream cheese. I did not. And then we're gonna mix it all up. See, it's not softened, so it's not mixing super easily, but it's okay. Your keto fried pickles were awesome. Hey, I'm glad you liked them. That's one of my favorite recipes. By the way, guys, these are gonna be in the air fryer for 10 minutes. So if you guys have questions about your keto journey, if you're struggling with anything, if you need support, that's kind of how these lives started. So feel free to ask me. If I don't see the comment, somebody in the comment section can probably also help you. So we're just here to support each other on our keto journeys. All right, I've got it mixed pretty well. So now the third ingredient is salami. We're just gonna sandwich it in here like this. What do you need help with, Amoro? And make some little tacos like this. And then we add them to parchment paper. You can also just use the salami and grab it like this. Is keto better for your digestive system? So some people may find that that's the case, especially if you have a problem with bread and gluten. Other people may experience issues on keto if they're not eating a lot of healthy foods to go with their keto journey. So it's one person could do keto and just eat these all day, and another person could have this as a fun snack, but then throughout the day they're also eating avocado and salmon and grass-fed steak. So you can have a totally different reaction to keto depending on what type of foods you're eating. But yeah, sugar in general and a lot of wheat and things like that are definitely going to mess up people's guts. What's up, Rockin' Chick? Restarting keto 2023. Fell off the wagon last year. Day 15, down 12 pounds. Oh, let's get it. Congratulations. So one thing to remember, if you didn't experience this the first time around you did keto, you do lose a lot of weight at the very beginning, and it kind of slows down after the first month. So don't get too excited about the first 20 pounds you drop, because it may slow down to 1 pound a week after that. That's totally normal. Don't let that discourage you. Just keep on going. Thank you for the kind words, Amoro. What's your favorite keto sweet treat right now for dessert? All right, this is what I eat basically every night for dessert. These okay, so there are two things. Enlightened keto bars are super good. They had this double dough one that was so good. My grocery store stopped selling it though. And then these are store-bought things. And then these Nix ice creams at Walmart are so freaking good. But if you want homemade ideas, I did a recipe for peanut butter cookies. Once I made those, that was my dessert every night for the next 5 nights. All right, we're gonna go ahead and put these into the air fryer. So that's what they look like. We had some bell peppers fall off. I'm picking them up. All right, I need something to dry my hands with. Anyway, so the peanut butter cookies were my dessert for a while. And then I had those peanut butter brownies I made. I did those for dessert for a little bit. So basically whatever I make for dessert, if I make a video, that can last me a few nights. And then I usually revert back to my enlightened ice cream if I don't make anything else in the near future. I need a napkin, and maybe I'll grab Sophia Is she having fun? Alright, these are the cutest little gloves. They're like fun for her to chew on because she's constantly eating her hands. So Anna's mom got us these cool little gloves. And my mom got us the pajamas she's wearing, right?
Yes.
Hi, Sophia. Do you want to help us with the recipe? Do you want to help us with the recipe? It's so cool seeing how she's like interested in her surroundings now. We'll like set her down and she'll just look around. But it's like a different kind of looking around than when she was a newborn, because now it's like she's genuinely curious and she'll like try to touch things. Sophia, are you eating your hand? Are you eating your hand? All right, I'm gonna give her back to her mom. I love you. She's almost ready for bed. Bye, Sophia. Here we go. Back to her favorite place. With mommy. Where's the apron? Oh no, I should have been wearing the apron this whole video. I was so excited. Except I wore it today. If you guys saw the recipe video I did for the 2-ingredient bagels, I wore it in that video. What's the brand of ice cream? It's called Nicks. Nicks. Oh yeah, we have them. They're a little higher in net carbs. It's like 8 net carbs or 9. So it's 9 net carbs. So I wouldn't recommend eating these if you are only doing 20 net carbs a day, or if you're like eating a ton of carbs from veggies and stuff. It's going to be hard to make this work, but I can eat around 30, 35 and still be in ketosis. So these work for me, but they also have pints that would be easier to portion out and are less high in carbs. These things are amazing though. Yeah, Anna loves them too. It's funny. Anna just like will send me to Walmart and like make up a reason for me to have to go to Walmart. Like today, she was like, oh, will you go? I was going to take Sophia to the grocery store. She was like, oh, will you go pick up some protein shakes at Walmart? And I knew why she wanted me to go to Walmart.
Did you get the protein shakes?
Yeah, they're in the car. Yeah, Darlene, I was talking about the Enlightened bars. Andy, you could definitely cut it in half, for sure. They're pretty filling, right? Like those...
They're so good.
Yeah.
I
But-
wouldn't be able to cut it in half. But yeah, you can cut it in half.
Jewel, if you're talking about the Nicks ice cream sandwiches, the Quest cookies, is that what you're asking about? Because Quest, I don't think, has ice cream sandwiches. But yeah,
It's totally different. This isn't protein, so...
Yeah, it's totally different. Oh, you mean the protein shakes.
Oh.
Is that what you're talking about? But could you possibly explain the difference between net carbs and regular carbs? So net carbs are the only carbs that affect your ketones, your blood sugar, because they're the only carbs that are digested by your body. Fiber and sugar alcohols kind of just pass through, so they don't affect your blood sugar. So counting net carbs is really the only thing you need to be tracking if the goal is just doing keto, being in ketosis. But I would even say counting net carbs is important for another reason, because think about an avocado. It has like 16 grams of fiber and 4 net carbs. Fiber, depending on which ideological path you're on right now, some people believe vegetables are don't want to be eaten, so you should avoid them at all costs. Other people believe that vegetables and fiber are good for your gut. And it just depends on how you feel. Whichever approach works for you and makes you feel good, take that approach. And if you're the type of person who feels good when you're eating veggies, when you're eating fibrous foods like avocados, counting total carbs would kind of screw you, because it's like, oh, I'm doing 20 total carbs a day, so now I'm putting a cap on the amount of fiber I'm eating. And if I'm the type of person who experiences like gut issues, if I'm not eating a lot of fiber, then that's gonna cause some problems. But maybe it's the other side for you, and in that case, counting total carbs wouldn't be so bad. If you're hungry a lot, what's the best thing to eat to keep net carbs low? Protein is number one. I'd put that slow cooker chicken in the fridge if you guys saw my recipe video for it, where I just put salsa in a slow cooker with chicken breast. And throughout the day, sometimes I would just grab like a handful of it, or if you're more civilized than me, like a spoonful, and just eat it. But you can't go wrong with protein. That's gonna stop you from being hungry all the time too, because protein, especially in the morning, kind of signals to the hormones that control your hunger and satiation that you're not starving. You don't need to seek out high-calorie foods and binge on them. Like, protein is very important for kind of like normalizing your appetite. If you're coming off of a standard American diet, which is pretty low in protein, you know? So that's something I would say is like just lots of protein, and then healthy fats like avocado or a handful of cashews or almonds. Jewel, so I probably used a salsa that's not good, but I'm not too concerned about that because maybe a gram or two of sugar made its way in every serving I had. But I'm very active, so a gram or two of sugar is just going to go into my muscles rather than cause problems in my body. But if you're sedentary, it's more important to be aware of those things. I actually saw a cool post. Shout out to this dude, Brendan, I think, from Santa Cruz Medicinals. He has like a really cool TikTok. And he was talking about soy sauce, and he's like, oh, you just meant good as in taste. Okay. But he did this post where like, he avoids like soy and soybean oil or something, but he was like, but I'm not or maybe it was like, I forget, but he was basically saying like, there are certain foods where if you're just consuming a little bit of it, it might not have the optimal ingredients, but it's not going to be the end of the world to like have some of it with your seafood or whatever. Is sugar-free cake mix good for keto? So this is what you need to do if you're buying any kind of sugar-free dessert or sweetener or cake mix. Look at the ingredient label, and if it has maltitol, maltodextrin, or dextrose, that means that it's probably going to raise your blood sugar and kick you out of ketosis. So in that case, you should avoid it. If it doesn't have any of those ingredients, it may also have like vegetable oils or something, which is not good, but it's not going to kick you out of ketosis. So if that's your only goal, then yeah, it should be fine. All right, we're going to take out the salami tacos. Oh wow, I think I overcooked them a little. Guys, I think I overcooked them. Oh no, I like way overcooked them. I got too distracted. We're gonna make it work though. We're gonna like spoon it back in and just let them sit, and then it'll be okay. I think they're gonna be fine because whatever cream cheese melted out, there's still some inside of them that's gonna taste good. So we just lost a little cream cheese by leaving them in too long. But yeah, I think we're good. We're good. I'm still gonna eat them 100%, yeah. And I'm gonna just eat. See, now they're good to go. I'm just gonna eat this spoonful that I scooped off. Oh my god. Can you recommend how to restart keto? Yeah, I'll get to that in 1 second. I'm gonna take this bite. Oh my god. This is so good. I think it would be good with jalapenos. I just tried to take a drink of this with the lid on it. Alright, so how to restart keto. Just go back to keto. And there's no reason to like jump and get super extreme and do like a 3-day fast so you can get back into ketosis. All you need to do is just go back to the keto that you've usually done, and within a few days you'll be in ketosis and everything will be fine. But if that's not the question, and the question is, I can't stay on track, but I've done this before, why can't I stick to it this time around? Then my advice would be, think about the last time you were doing keto. If your life was a lot different, maybe your discipline was at a different place, maybe your circumstances were different, you shouldn't be comparing yourself to who you were at your healthiest. You should be comparing yourself to who you were last week and try to get a little better than that. So it's like, if you've done keto and you're not sticking to it this time around, stop trying to do keto and make that like the end goal. But for now, just try to live a low carb lifestyle. Take 1 meal per day, make it healthy. Next week, take 2 meals per day and make those healthy. The next week, make 3 meals per day healthy. And then eventually you'll be back on track without feeling too overwhelmed. But sometimes life gets the best of us and we just have to take a step back. Exactly, Panoma. Just meet yourself where you're at. So that's what I would say if you're struggling to restart keto. How many carbs a day allowed for keto? Generally 25 net, but you can get a little higher if you're super active and fat adapted. Andrea, you ran a red light for this. Hey. I made your keto pizza today with the canned chicken for the crust. Oh, I'm glad you liked it. That's one of my favorite recipes ever. Runs, let me know what you think of the bagels. They're not real bagels, so if you guys make that bagel recipe I posted today, just keep that in mind. You're not gonna bite into it and it's like a real bagel from a bagel like bakery. But it's a good replacement, especially if you're into like, I just put cream cheese on it, but I'm a big fan of like the McDonald's steak, egg, and cheese bagel. So I think recreating something like that with those bagels as buns would be super yummy. Burn, we made some like salami taco things. What does MCT oil do and is it recommended? All right, so MCT oil is good for giving you some energy at the beginning of your keto journey. It's also good for just giving you some energy in general because it converts straight to ketones. Something else it can do is like it can make you feel satiated if you put it in your coffee in the morning. So maybe this is the only time I would say, unless you're just consuming it to get some energy, this is the only time I would say it's a good idea to like scoop MCT oil into your coffee. If you wake up and you eat a pretty big breakfast or you're pretty hungry in the mornings, and that usually leads to eating a lot of food, say 500 calories plus. You don't have to track your macros or calories, but you can just look at the food you're eating. If you're eating a lot of food, right? And you're also eating a lot of food for lunch and dinner, and maybe your weight loss isn't where it's at. You can put MCT oil in your coffee, and if that helps you stop eating a lot of food in the morning, then that can be really beneficial to your weight loss. But if you put the MCT oil in your coffee, and you keep eating the same amount of food for breakfast, the same amount of food for lunch, and the same amount of food for dinner, it's actually going to slow down your weight loss. So just think of keto like this. Keto regulates your appetite and it helps you eat less food, which causes weight loss. But if you do keto and you eat just excessive amounts of everything because it's keto and because the more fat the better, well, you're not giving your body a chance to burn stored fat, which is the real magic of keto. It makes your body get good at burning stored fat for energy. But if you're just putting a bunch of MCT oil and cream cheese on everything, like this recipe I'm making is like a one meal thing. I'm not going to eat this for every meal of the day. My dinner will probably be like some chicken dipped in like a guac cup, which is a good amount of fat, but it's not excessive, and like some green beans maybe cooked in butter or something. So I'm eating healthy amounts of fat. But if I'm just like dumping 7 cups of heavy cream in everything I eat, that's going to make it harder to lose weight on keto because I'm no longer burning stored fat. I'm just burning all of the fat that I'm putting in my body. You're an advocate of salt. I just can't seem to incorporate it to my regimen without it bloating me. All right, so Andrea, this is another thing that's really important for people to remember. If you feel fine and you feel great, you have energy, your keto journey is going smooth, don't worry about it. You're probably getting enough salt in your food, especially if you're eating like prepackaged keto savory foods. They're pretty salty. However, if you don't have a lot of energy and you don't feel good and your electrolytes are out of balance, it's unlikely that you're going to sustain keto anyway. So I would rather be bloated with 5 pounds of water and lose 70 pounds of fat. Even though I'm bloated with an extra 5 pounds of water, I'm going to lose 70 pounds of fat, so I'm still 65 pounds lighter. Then decide I can't do the salt because I don't want to have this extra few pounds of water on my body, so I'm not going to do it. And then you just stop keto so you don't lose the 70 pounds. So you're still like, it's like a lose-lose, you know? So there's no reason why, even if you do feel bloated from salt, it would be an issue. But one thing to consider is salt really only makes you bloated in the first place if you're eating carbs. So if you're not true to keto, maybe 2 or 3 days a week you're going off plan, that is why the salt is bloating you. Or maybe the keto foods you're eating are higher in carbs than you think, so tracking your carbs could be helpful. So that's what I would say about people who are worried about being bloated from salt. It's either like, it's probably just that you're eating too many carbs and that's why you're getting bloated from it. Or maybe you're just still insulin resistant or something, and over time that will heal itself and then you won't get bloated from it. All right, let's take out these salami bites. I think they're cool enough now. I need a plate. Here we go. See, all I had to do was just let them sit for a minute. They're perfect. Oh my god. Oh my god. These are so good. Oh, baking these in cupcake trays. That's a good idea. Guys, these are amazing. So freaking good. I'll have one more. Oh my god, go make these. Please go make these. They're so good. Jeez Louise. Amazing. All right, guys. I love you. I believe in you. I will see you tomorrow. Have a blessed rest of your night.